Good morning, everybody. We're back out in the garden today. It's still a little bit chilly, but the garden's looking very grateful for the rainfall that we had the other day. Our boots, not so much. We're all clogged up in mud already. And we've had a bit of a disaster in the polytunnel. We're really not having much success, but we're trying to be optimistic about it because we've still got plenty of time, and we know from the last growing season that when the temperature is right, it'll just go. We was just trying to get ahead of the season, really. So I'll show you another mishap. Yeah. So the tomatoes aren't looking too great. We brought them out into this polytunnel after the other one got destroyed by the wind, because we know that they're warm temperature plants. You know, they like the warmth. But because we was out all day yesterday and we didn't get around to coming out, I think they've suffocated because the soil's still moist. It must just be the heat. So, just another lesson learned, I guess. We will get the hang of it. We got plenty of time to get more out. We're just a little bit gutted because they were cherry tomato seeds that we saved from the tomatoes from last year. So we was kind of hoping that we could preserve our own seeds and reuse them year after year. But we used them all in one go. And now this has happened, so yeah. So the biggest thing that I'm learning about gardening so far is that nothing is ever predictable. I spent a lot of time over winter researching every single seed that we wanted to plant out this year, and even creating my own plant calendar specific to this region and specific to the seeds that we had. And I was really quite naive in thinking that I knew enough and everything would go swimmingly and I would just be able to balance out the mishaps with the successes. And we know from last year, our first growing season, that nature is very powerful here. And even with no knowledge and no experience, you can stick some seeds into the ground and they will come up. Because we was even late to the season. We started in May and we had absolutely no idea about planting times, about conditions, about anything. And we just stuck a load into the ground, and we did have a lot of failures, but we also had a number of successes. So with the knowledge and research that I have done, I know for sure that we will have many more successes this year. I've just kind of got to let nature take over and not worry too much. I'm just going to do some tidying up around where we've planted out our seeds and maybe plant some more peas just in case we don't have enough. But the weeds are already starting to come through thick and fast, and I'm trying to keep on top of it a little bit more this year.
Okay, so we got the rest of the peas transplanted out into our neighbour's plot, and we're pretty happy with the success rate with them. We're really confident we might get some good ones. So the next agenda is to replant pomegranate that we planted from seed last year, and you might have seen it in a couple of videos if you've looked in the background of when we've been inside the house. Now, we're pretty confident that this time of year it should be okay because it's tolerable up to like -10, and I don't think we're going to get that coming anytime soon. So we're going to plant pomegranate out, and we've also been given two cuttings from a person who my dad did some rotavating for as kind of like a thank you gift. Now, we can't remember what the berry is, but apparently it is the most juiciest and rich berry. So that's all we have with that. So if you can identify it, then feel free, because we're just going to plant it and hope for the best. And if the Bulgarians say it's worth planting, then you know you're off to a good start.
So we've transplanted our little baby pomegranate sapling, and we've decided to put it here because once we finally get rid of that giant peach tree stump, we thought it'd be really nice to be able to look out of both kitchen windows and see it, because pomegranate is such a beautiful tree with bright orange flowers that turn into obviously the bright orange red fruit. So then we've got the mystery fruit over here, and we were given very specific instructions to plant it at a 45-degree angle, and each one of these little shoots should root down and it comes up like a bush. So the sun's starting to set now, and the village always feels very peaceful at this time of day, with the exception of the odd dog or cockerel or goose. It feels very tranquil. Mark's just gathered up a load of tools because we're heading out early tomorrow morning to the Pavlikeni region to help our friends Johnny and Bex. He's been doing a lot of digging on and off all day, and we're getting pretty cold now, so we're going to head in and put the fire on. And we'll see you again tomorrow. Ciao!